The Novok Necrons have returned to their home world to repair their living metal after their victory against the Eldar forces. But little do they know, there is a new enemy gathering heading towards the Tomb World. Time for another 40k battle report. The Thousand Suns versus the Novok Necrons.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this battle report. Right, Necrons versus the Thousand Suns. I am playing Richard from Capitan Morgan's Wargames. We played a couple of weeks ago his Eldar forces against my Novok Necrons. A close game, the Necrons came out victorious. However, he has brought his brand new Thousand Suns nasty list to test out against my Novok list. Now, I have made a few changes to the list. Before we look at that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Right, let's have a look at the Novok list. Okay, so here is my 2000 point Novok army. Not a single gun in this list. I've made a few tweaks since you saw it in the last battle report. The HQ is exactly the same. We have the Destroyer Lords there with a War Sigh. He's got Crimson Haze and Nano Scarab Casket. We have the flayed ones, and this is where my changes have been. Previously I had 2 squads of 15. I've dropped these down now, originally to 10, although with the points that was left over, I've got 2 squads of 11. Now the reason for this is I was finding that a unit of 15 was being shot down just as easily as a unit of 10, and a unit of 10 distracts just as much as a unit of 15. Plus, if they were to survive, maybe with 1 or 2 flayed ones left, I was very tempted to use my command points to stop them from failing morale. I only have 4 command points in this army, and I don't really want to be doing that. So, 2 units of 11 flayed ones, which has freed up some points for a heavy support slot. A unit of 2 Canoptic Spiders, and they've got Gloom Prisms, so this gives me a bit of anti-psychic defense. Now I could have 2 separate spiders, however that would mean an extra drop and also an extra kill point. So I'm going to try out with 1 unit of 2, and they are going to push forward, get into that 24-inch range, give some support to what's behind them, and that is the Scarab Swarms. So we've got 3 squads of 9 Scarab Swarms, and right at the back 3 squads of 6 Wraiths. No upgrades on those Wraiths. So that brings me in at 1986 points. I've actually got 14 points left. However, most of those units are maxed out, i.e. the Scarabs. The flayed ones are 17 points each. I don't really want to put any guns on any of the models. So that is my list for now. So let's find out how it's going to perform, have a look at the map, the mission, and also Richard's list. Okay, so here we are, we've deployed and ready to play, but first of all we need to have a look at Richard's army. So Richard, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, nice to be back again.
Excellent, and this is your new army, right?
Yes, this is my new Thousand Suns list.
Okay, and of course you've recently got your channel up and running?
Yeah, Capitan Morgan's Wargames. We'll be focusing on tactics, bat reps, and unit tactica as well.
Excellent. I will link you up in the description below to Richard's channel. Don't forget to check it out. In the meantime, let's have a look at Richard's awesomely painted new army. So Richard, tell us a bit about this army here. I'm going to zoom in because it's so awesome. Right,
so I hadn't seen this set up with a Thousand Suns, so I've got a Vanguard detachment of Ahriman on the disc with 3 decimators. Each decimator has 2d3s, has 2 soul petards, which are 2d3 assault, 24 inches, and every hit is a mortal wound. Then I have a battalion with 2 demon princes as my HQs, 2 10-man squads of Zangals with Brayhorn and Icon of Flame and a Twist Bray in each. And then I've got in Deep Strike, I've got a 30-man Zangals blob with twist Bray Horn icon of flame, and in my super auxiliary is the Magnus himself.
Aye, aye. So this will be the first time that I've faced Magnus, and indeed the first time I've faced this particular army. So it's going to be really interesting. Now this is your tournament, your new tournament list, yeah?
Yes, this is the one I'm taking to Pompey Pillage. So
yep.
I will have to adapt it for Confrontation.
Yeah.
But
no Forge World in the Confrontation tournament, which we're practicing for.
Yeah.
However, this is obviously going to be a big test for my army, so I'm really looking forward to this. So we are playing Scorched Earth. So it's 6 objectives, and you score an objective point at the end of your turn for each one that you're standing on. We are playing Pitched Battle. I chose this side after we put down the objectives. So let's have a look at the objectives. So we've got these. What are these? Black rocks?
Blackstone.
Black stones. These.
With runes of power inside them.
Okay, so these have got runes of power. We've got one there. We have one there. One there. One there, one there, and one in the middle. So I chose this side of the table, and I've deployed the Scarabs with the Wraiths. Scarabs, Wraiths and Destroyer Lords. We've got the Tomb Spiders, or Canoptic Spiders as they're now called. We have some more Scarabs and Wraiths just there. My 2 units of Flayed Ones are in reserve. So we both had 10 drops, but Richard deployed first. So that means he's going to get +1 to the dice roll. So let's find out who is going to go first. Grab my dice. Here we go. I got a 3. So re-roll. Here we go. 4 each. Another re-roll.
6.
Okay, we got both rolled a 5, but Richard gets +1. So am I going to try and seize the initiative? Of course I am. Here we go, seize the initiative. The camera is shaking because I am shaking my dice furiously. Look at this. 6! Oh, so close. Okay, so it's going to be the Thousand Suns turn 1. Okay, so the Thousand Suns turn 1 movement. Richard has moved pretty much everything. This guy, Magnus, moving quite a number of inches forward, getting into range. This guy here using the relic, was it Dark?
Dark Crystal Matter.
Dark Crystal Matter. He came from all the way over there. We are now moving into the Psychic phase. Now, in combination of Psychic powers and shooting, this army here has the potential to do 36 mortal wounds. Now you know why my Scarabs are at the front. Yes. So what we're going to do is we are going to record 1 round of Psychic phase for this army, just so you can see exactly what it's up to. So Richard, take it away.
Right. My first power I'm going to use is with Magnus. He's going to use Doom Bolt on these. It's any enemy unit within 24 inches because of the special abilities Thousand Sun has, increases the range by 6 inches.
Okay.
So Doom Bolt is a warp charge value of 9, and it will suffer D3 mortal wounds.
Right.
And it will have its movement halved and cannot advance.
Okay. Movement halved and cannot advance if you're successful. Now I do have my Gloom Prisms in range,
Yeah, so you
so potentially deny that one if I want to. I'm sure there's more nastier stuff coming.
+2 to this. So
+2, okay.
it doesn't go off.
Doesn't go off, right?
I'm
Okay.
not too worried about
Didn't think
that.
you would be.
Death Hex or Death Hex on these.
Yeah.
It's 2 on it. It's an 8, and they lose their invuln, so that's a 12. So.
Okay, so I'm going to let you have that one then.
And it's an 8.
And what's this, sorry?
Warp time. It means he can move another 16.
Oh, 16 inches, my god. Okay,
Yeah, so it gives me just about there.
I'm going to try and to deny that then with one of my Gloom Prisms. So you've got a 6, yeah? So I've got
I've
a roll.
got 8 in total.
An 8 in
He
total.
gets +2.
Oh, okay, right. So here we go then. We need more than 8. No. So he is going to do some extra movement. This guy is fast.
See, where's the idea?
You realise you're falling into my trap.
Yeah, it's Right, so over to this one.
Yeah, Demon Prince.
He's going to cast Weaver of Fates on Magnus. I'm going to use Kabbalistic Focus for 1 command point, which will add 2 to it because he's within. Just make sure he is actually.
There's a lot of cheese going on here, Richard.
Not quite, so I can't use that one. No,
Okay.
Just not quite the 6 inches. So it's walk value 6, and it'll increase his involved to 3 plus
Okay.
9. So
Yeah, so you can have that.
not quite. So he won't use that. He'll use Smite.
Smite.
Within 24 inches, so it will be when the Smite's the nearest one, so it'll be the Scarabs.
Okay, Smite on my Scarabs.
4/6 goes off. You can deny it if you want, but it's D3.
Yeah, no, you can have that one.
2.
2 mortal wounds on my Scarabs. Okay, we'll put that on in a second.
He'll do Araman. We'll do Zenith's Firestorm. And it'll go on to your race.
Okay.
It's another lot of mortal wounds, 9 dice, any 6s are mortal wounds.
Okay.
Goes off on a 8, no 7, sorry.
7, right.
So with a +1 is a 7.
Okay. And I assume you're too far. I'm too far away with my second Gloom Prism, aren't I? Just measure this up. Probably too far away from my guess. Yeah.
Just.
Yep.
So 9 dice.
9 dice, no 6s. Here we go. Not looking for 6s. I like that roll.
Yep.
Keep those dice.
That's 2. Then he'll Smite.
So this is now on a 7, yeah? Or is it?
No, Spells and Suns don't go up because they're the Brotherhood of Psycho.
Okay.
So theirs never go up.
Okay.
So,
yeah, so it's D3 mortal wounds on again, is it? Yeah.
yeah.
1. So that Scarab base is now gone. Just take that one off. There you go.
Right. Last Demon Prince. So he'll put Glamour of Zenith on the Zangors, which is the enemy must subtract 1 when they're trying to hit them, shooting or fighting.
Right, okay.
So, and that goes off on the 7. Goes off on the 10.
Goes off, yeah.
And then he'll do Smite
Okay.
on the surface. Same thing, well, it'd be that Scarab there,
Yep.
yeah. Goes off on the 9.
Okay, and can you measure me up for 24 inches for my second Gloom Prism, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to deny that then. You haven't got many more psychic powers coming, have you?
That's it.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. No, 2 and a 1. So that's D3 mortal wounds then, yeah?
Yeah. Which is
3, so as a base. Okay, another Scarab base. Gone. Okay, so that's the end of the psychic phase, yeah?
yeah.
Okay, so we're going to eye up. Let's go all out and record the shooting phase for this very nicely painted army. Look at that, looks so cool. Okay, so we're in the shooting phase. There's just these Forge World models here just to shoot. So Richard, what have they got?
Well, they've got 2 assault petards each. Assault 2d3, 24 inch range. And every single hit is a mortal wound.
Every single hit.
Yes.
Right.
On the 1,
Yeah.
they suffer a mortal wound,
Okay.
but it's only if you get 3 ones, it's only one that counts.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I'm going to play a stratagem called Demon Forge, and that allows me to reroll all failed hit and wound rolls. Even though I've got Araman and 2 Demon Princes which allow me 1s, I'm going to put it on the first one.
Okay.
And
how many command points have you got in your army?
There was 9 to start with.
Yeah.
I've now got 6 left because I'll take the.
You've got the double
white
relic,
and,
haven't you?
And a single relic.
Right.
So
Yeah. Okay. Here we go then. So we'll
one.
definitely want to see at least 1-1.
does 4d3 hits. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
4d3 hits
8. Yeah.
per model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
8.
I'm not
So
scared.
it's on these.
I'm not scared at all.
So there's one. He'll get to reroll those. So 1 fail, 7 mortal wounds.
Okay.
Straight into your race.
Straight into the race. Okay. And that's all the shoots. That's just from one.
That's from one.
That's from one.
This one?
That's not fair.
No.
But I won't see these at Confrontation 3 though, would I?
No. 6, 7. Another 8.
8 mortal wounds.
Another 8 shots.
Shots. Another 8 shots. Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8. This one just rerolls ones, but no ones.
No ones.
So there's 6. That's 13. So
You regain a wound anyway, don't you? Even if you lose one.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
there's 13 wounds on your kinetic race.
Okay.
The last one,
We can take it. We can take
they're
it.
going into your scarabs because he's not in range.
Okay.
So
13 wounds on the wraiths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've still got 1 wraith left. Well, 1 and a bit.
so 2, 4, 7, 10.
10 mortal wounds.
No, 10 shots.
10 shots.
10 shots into your scarabs. Just a 1 to reroll, and everything hits 10
10 mortal wounds.
into your scarabs.
13 mortal wounds onto the wraiths. Okay, those things there. I need to shoot them, but I haven't got any guns. That's okay. We can deal with it. We can deal with it. Okay, so let me take my dead off. Continue the round, and we'll be back with an end of turn summary. Okay, so that's the end of the Thousand Suns' first turn. So, only action really in the assault phase was Magnus, who assaulted my Death Hex affected wraiths, and no invulnerable saves for me. He managed to get 6 wounds, and they all did 3 damage each, so the whole of the unit phased out. And then my scarabs attacked Magnus, and I managed to do 3 wounds on him. So Magnus got first blood, and then these guys over here scored that objective and that objective. So 3 points to Richard for his turn 1. Now we're going to move into the Necrons turn 1, and with my depleted wraiths here, I'm definitely going to use my stratagem, giving RP to the wraiths. So 2 points, and then we've got to roll some dice. So we've got 4 wraiths to try and get back. We need 5s. I'd love to get 2 back. Let's see what we can do. We've got 1 back, so not too bad. Right, okay, so it's going to be Necrons turn 1. Okay, so we're in the Necron turn 1. Just finished moving and I'm ready for the assault. So what I've done is I've moved this little blob here, the Scarab Swarm, daisy chaining to 2 objectives with the wraiths behind. These tomb spiders here did generate another Scarab Swarm on this unit, but I took a mortal wound. As always, it's my thing, I rolled a 1 all the time with the tomb spiders, and no, I didn't use one of my 2 command points that I've got left to re-roll it. So these scarabs spread out, also taking 2 objectives. In the meantime, we've got these brave wraiths and Destroyer Lord up against this guy here. So this is going to be the assault. I'm just going to roll to get in, and then we're going to be back for some dice rolling. Okay, so here we go. First of all, the Destroyer Lord hitting Magnus. So we've got our 4 dice. He's got a war sigh, so he's going to need 3s, and re-rolling because of the Novok. So all in. We are now at strength 7. Your toughness 7, yeah?
Yeah.
So 4s. Did I get any 6s to hit?
I thought you had 1.
Okay, so it was only 1 wound, but Crimson Haze, I did get a 6 to hit, so I get another hit coming in. I hit, and another wound. Okay, so I've done 2 wounds, and those are -4, but that makes no difference because you're invuln, but they do 2 damage each if you fail your 3+ invuln. You did fail 1. Command point. Oh! Okay, so he takes 2 wounds. Okay, so now it's time for the wraiths. We've got 3 wraiths, 3 attacks each. So we need 3s. Any 6s? We've got 2, so I get 2 more attacks. Here we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3 misses, but I get to re-roll those. And 1 more gets through. Okay, so we've got 9 wounds, so let's get those done. We need 4s. We've got 4 4s. It's -2 AP and 2 damage each. 3+ invuln. 1 gets through. So that's another 2 wounds. 11 wounds left. Now for the scarabs. Okay, so now it's time for the scarabs. So, I've got a bunch full of dice here. 4 attacks each. We do need 4s. Take out the 1s, 2s and 3s, and now any 6s, because they are within 6 inches of the Lord, I will get an extra attack. Okay, so I had 7 6s, we got 7 more attacks. So that's not too bad, a good amount of attacks. So let's see how many wounds we can do. Okay, so a bunch of wounds. Toughness 7, strength 3, but the scarabs automatically wound on 5. So here we go, we're looking for 5s.
Lots of 6s, that's it.
Lots of 6s, yeah. Okay, so 13 5s and 6s. These are only 1 damage each, but what can they do? 1, 2, 3. What was that?
Verse 13, so
oh, right, okay.
12 dice in the neck.
Okay.
So another 3 off.
Another 3 off, so that puts him down to 8 wounds, and he started with 18. Okay, so he's under half strength, so slightly crippled, a little bit maybe.
Well, he's down to his second
tier.
Second tier.
Okay, well,
That's
something better than nothing. Okay, so now it's time for Magnus to strike back. He's going up against my Destroyer Lord.
6 hit on 2s, reroll
2s.
1s, but didn't need to. Hitting on 2s.
Yep.
So 2.
That's 3 damage each.
5, 3 damage each.
I do have my invulnerable save, yep. So we've got 5 saves to make. 4+ phase shifter. That is not good. 3 1s, a 2 and a 3.
Ouch.
Okay, so I obviously cannot survive that. So, end of the turn. I think I might be using my Nano Scarabs casket. So on a 4+, I can only do this once, but on a 4+, he comes back with D6 wounds. So here we go. A 4. He comes back. How many wounds? 1 wound. I think I might use a command point. Can I re-roll that? Yeah. So command point, we're going to re-roll that. A 3, and you're going to try to get a point back. You do. Okay, so that was the end of Necrons turn 1. Okay, so just to confirm, I managed to score 4 points from objectives. It's now the beginning of Richard's turn, so I'm going to use Living Metal from this guy, and he gets D3 wounds back at the beginning of Richard's turn. So how many wounds? Another 2 wounds back, so he's back up to 5 wounds. Okay, here we go then, turn 2 for the Thousand Suns. Okay, so the Thousand Suns turn 2, a pretty successful turn 2 as well. So as you can see, basically everything here has moved forward. These 2 princes advanced, these guys got in range to shoot things. And then we went to the psychic phase. Magnus tried to give himself a 3+ invulnerable, and I managed to deny that one, so that was useful. However, he managed to do smite on my wraiths. He rolled a 12, which gave him 2d6 mortal wounds, and yeah, the wraiths were just wiped out. In the assault, he also killed quite a lot of scarab swarms there as well, just down to 3 scarab swarms. I did manage to do a wound, but he got it back. Oh, at the beginning of the turn as well, with one of, I think it was a psychic phase? Yeah, you got your wound back?
Temporal manipulation, D3 wounds.
Okay, so he managed to get a wound back from temporal manipulation, so he's no longer under half strength. And then we had some psychic powers coming in on to these Scarab Swarms. I lost a base and also 2 wounds on that one. And then it was these things, these nasty things. Yeah, they just basically totally killed my wraiths there. I think it was 18 mortal wounds altogether, so the whole unit's gone. And that was it. Scoring wise, they scored 2 points for the objective there, just in the middle, and the objective at the back. Necrons are looking a little bit weak. However, we've got 2 squads of flayed ones to come in. I am currently standing on quite a few objectives, so who knows as we move in to turn 2 for the Necrons. Okay, so the Necrons turn 2. Well, I decided, as these were right in my face, these things here pumping out so many mortal wounds, to try and do something about them. So the main objective, to stop them from shooting rather than kill them, so I sent in the Scarab Swarm unit just there that was around holding these 2 objectives. Because I did that, I brought the flayed ones in on that objective there, leaving the Tomb Spiders to take this objective. These Scarabs just moved back into some terrain and took that objective and that objective. I got 2 Scarabs within 3 inches. The other flayed ones came down here and tried to assault the Demon Prince, however I failed my charge. The Destroyer Lord, which was here, which stood back up earlier in the game, he assaulted Magnus. I managed to take 2 wounds off of Magnus, however he was slain again. I used my last command point to try and get him to stand back up with the stratagem, however I failed the roll, so he stayed dead. That was Slay the Warlord. The Scarabs attacked Magnus but did nothing. And then, after the Demon Prince did heroic intervention, I managed to get this walker thing down to 2 wounds. In the meantime, as you can see, I lost quite a few Scarab bases, some from the Overwatch and some from the Assault. I didn't fail morale though. So I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4 objective points, although I did lose Slay the Warlord. So we're currently running at 8 points for the Necrons and 6 points for the Thousand Suns. That includes First Blood and Slay the Warlord. So I do have the edge, but I don't have much left. Hopefully the firepower has been reduced slightly to this Thousand Suns army. So let's see what happens as we move in to turn 3 for the Thousand Suns. Okay, so Thousand Suns turn 3. Reserves coming in, this massive blob of 30... What are they called? Sangors. Came in here, they tried to assault my Tomb Spiders, but failed the assault. In the meantime, lots of psychic powers and mortal wounds coming in, wiping out my few Scarab Swarms that were left, freeing up one of these things to shoot, who shot into the flayed ones. I lost 7 flayed ones, I lost a couple more from morale, still got 2 standing there. In the meantime, Magnus finished off the few Scarab bases that was left just there. So objective wise, 2 objective points scored for the Thousand Suns that turn, as we move in to turn 3 for the Necrons. Okay, so Necron turn 3, probably the quickest turn in history. I didn't really do anything. I left the flayed ones there, I rejiggled these just to be slightly further away to these. The Scarab Swarms just stayed where they were. The flayed ones advanced into the building as best as possible. They only rolled a 1 and on that objective there. That was my turn. That gave me 4 objective points. So I'm currently on 12. Richard is on 8, I believe. Yeah. And that was the end of my turn 3. So, at this event, the games are 2.5 hours long, so potentially at this moment in time, although it does look like I'm very much going to be wiped off the table, at the event, if the game doesn't finish at this point, I would actually have a chance of getting a victory. However, we are now going to move on to turn 4 for this rather nasty Thousand Suns army. Okay, so that was turn 4 for both of us. The game is over, or at least we called it over. So the rest of my army failed quite quickly. Ahriman took out the flayed ones. Magnus took out this unit of scarabs. The Demon Prince took out this scarab. These guys here shot into my tomb spiders, taking one tomb spider away and putting a couple of wounds on the other one. So I had 1 wound left on a tomb spider. These guys here managed to get into the assault, and the front line failed miserably to take a wound off. This guy, I killed nothing in return. In my turn 4, I just moved him away so that he couldn't be attacked and killed for the tabling. And then we called the game there, because obviously if the game goes on to turn 5, I would be tabled. But we had a little chat. I mean, 2.5 hours to play the game. There is a possibility that I may have taken it to turn 4. And in terms of victory points, we ended up at 13 victory points for the Thousand Suns, 12 victory points for the Necrons. So it would have been a minor win for the Thousand Suns if that scenario had happened. The one thing to point out is I killed nothing. Literally, I did not kill a single thing. Took Magnus, a few wounds off of Magnus, a few wounds off of one of these guys. Bearing in mind, I won't be facing these things in the events because you're not allowed them. Boy, do they put out a lot of wounds. But a very enjoyable game and some lessons learned for sure. So, Richard, thank you so much for that game. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it because I played against other Necron Dave on, as you've seen on my barracks, but playing a very good tournament player in yourself and having to work at it. I thought I'd get the win turn 2, but I was still not sure at the margin of that win, because you still had bits there that could cause me damage and I still had to think about it. So, I mean, those decimators, they were averaging 24 mortal wounds a turn. Matt put that with the psychic powers, and they put you on under pressure. What we did during the game, which no one saw, was we talked about what your aim should be in a competition, because you're not going to. I don't know any other unit that puts out mortal wounds in that capacity.
Yeah, they don't even have to wound, do they? It's just they hit.
As soon as they hit, it's a mortal wound. Yeah.
So what's your plan potentially to replace for those? Obviously you're not going to be able to use those in the event. Any ideas at the moment?
Yeah, I'm going to put a sorcerer in. I'm going to get a couple Zangors in a shaman in there to get some more mortal wounds in there through psychic powers, and then probably if I can get the points, 2 defilers for shooting, because this army lacks shooting, and I would pretty much do what I've just done there, just move everything up the table, and collapse one wing and move across the table. That's the plan anyway.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure I'll get another opportunity to face these off, maybe without these decimators. That might be an interesting game.
Yeah, that would be.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please consider subscribing. Hit my icon at the end of the video to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k. Beam me up.